Hi, preschool playgroup families. I wanted to make a video that addresses the same exact information as the email in case you are just busy and would prefer to listen instead of read and digest. So this is all the same information that's in the email I'm sending. You don't need to get it, you don't need to read and watch. Same info. So I want to thank you so much for coming out. In this video / email, I'd like to do 3 things. 1, I'd like to debrief with you about the experience. And 2, I'd like to find out which families would like to continue. And I'd like to get some of your feedback for options to continue, or for options for moving forward. So going back to A, it seemed like a lovely group of people. And I do think that a lot of fun was had. And I want to thank you so much for cleaning up so beautifully before you left. Full disclosure, there were more families there than I had planned for. So while I am so happy and delighted that we had some unexpected friends, that's great. But it did make the room more crowded than I anticipated. So I think that room maxes out at about 12 to 13 bodies plus babies, and there were 18 bodies plus babies. So it's a little squeezy. Realistically, we know that with kids and getting sick, absences are going to happen, and not every single person is likely to attend every single week, but they could. So I want to go down to, I want to mention that if you are considering whether or not you would like to participate, I would like you to know that I know there is a space issue that needs resolving, like a crowding issue that needs addressing. And so I'm on it. So hopefully that won't weigh too heavily in your factor in how you, if you want to participate or not. So that said, let's go down to B, which is knowing that I intend to address the fact that it's too crowded in there for most of us. Knowing that, if you would please let me know if you would like to participate moving forward. If you would let me know by the end of the day, Friday, so that I can establish a plan and communicate that plan in a timely fashion. If you are already a paid registrant, you don't need to tell me yes, I want to participate. I know, you're good. So your spot is secure. But again, still for everybody. Okay, so moving on to C. If we only have space issues resolved, if we only have about 6 to 8 kids who want to participate, then we really don't need to do anything else. Any other issues will resolve themselves, they solve themselves, and we're set. If, however, it turns out that we have a lot more families that want to participate than the space can accommodate, then I'm asking for your input as to how you would prefer to proceed. I have some ideas, and I would love to know which ideas speak to you, which are your preferences, and which are deal breakers. We couldn't do it if you go with this option, we have to be out. Okay. Choice 1 is, and I'm kind of looking for consensus, to be honest, among participants, but I will have to I'll kind of have to troubleshoot this, right? Okay, but here we go. So choice 1 is we could leave it as it is and anticipate that, yeah, there could be some weeks where everybody's there miraculously, but for the most part, we would anticipate that there's probably going to be somebody out or 2 families out, because that's how life works. That's choice 1. Choice 2, we could split into 2 groups, a 0 to 3 group and a 3 to 5 group, or, kind of based on your preference. We'd like to be with the younger group. We'd like to be with the older group. 3-year-olds, you can kind of make that choice about, where you think your child is developmentally, what they would benefit from. The time options, 2 options. We could do 9:50 to 10:50 for the 0 to 3s and 11 to 12 for the 3 to 5s. That's one choice. Butts right up to lunch, so you could maybe bring a snack or eat right before you come. Another choice would be 0 to 3 at 10 o'clock or 10:05 as we have it, and have a second option for 3 to 5-year-olds at 2 p.m., 2 to 3. Reason being that would line up with pickup. Some families have Pathfinders who are getting picked up at 3. So that might work well. I don't know. Having an older option at 2 o'clock to butt right up to pickup. There are some benefits to splitting it in that we could have more similarly aged kids in the same space together, and also leave room for adding new friends throughout the year so that we can bring new families in, still capping it per group. So still capping like 6 to 8, I think, is a good number. 12 to 13 bodies is really what I'm thinking. Okay. Here's another choice. Choice 3. We could all come at 10:05 as planned, but we could rent a second room. The question is, which room would we rent and how would we use that room? So currently we have room 7. So we know the size of that room. There is also a nursery down the hall by the bathrooms, also has toys. We could use that as a space for a younger group and keep an older group, or in the room 7, share toys back and forth. Or we could have both rooms and then use the nursery as kind of a flex space, maybe for if you have a crying baby and you need to kind of step away to calm baby, bring your toddler or your preschooler rather with you. We could keep that space also as a place where if everyone does come and we need to kind of overflow, or if it gets overwhelming, that could be a quiet space where kids could go for a little bit of a calmer environment. Toys can move. I do feel like that might be the most challenging option, negotiating that space in the moment. Like, oh, I need it for my crying baby. Oh, but I need it for my kid that needs some quiet. Like, I see that as the most challenging option, but it's an option. Another complication is cost with renting a second room. This would really only be feasible financially if we have a large number, the largest number, because we do pay per room. So something to think about. Okay. But I'd like to know if that's an option that speaks to you. Those are my 3 choices, 1, 2, 3. There might be something I'm missing. If there is, and you want to fill me in, share your idea, I am all ears. Let me know. As a reminder, preschool playgroup is $150 for the 1 child. Siblings under 2 are free. I have a request, 2 requests as like next steps. One would be, would you please let me know that you got this email or video and you digested it, even if you still need time to weigh your options. That way I know who has gotten the information and who, just to make sure you've got it. And also let me know you got this. And also, would you please let me know what your preferences are for participating, for dealing with the size issue, options that you like, options that are deal breakers. For example, if you already have something going on at 2 p.m., then the 2 p.m. group would be like a deal breaker for you. That's okay. I just would love to know so that we can come to some kind of consensus. Isn't it funny? That last week I was like, does anybody else want to try this? We need more participants. And then now I'm like, how do we deal with the fact that we have too many potential participants for the space? So I want to thank you for your flexibility and your patience and helping us kind of get Harmony rolling and work out these early scenarios. I want to thank you a million times. Thank you so much for your support and your willingness to come out yesterday and give it a try. I'm so happy that so many people wanted to give it a try. That's awesome. If it doesn't work for you, no hard feelings. You can always come back and try again or try a different kind of program as we get rolling. That's okay. I'm just glad you came out. That's awesome. Here's the thing. If we can't, let's say everybody wants to participate, but we cannot come to any kind of consensus about how to split or rooms or what. Like, everyone has a totally different idea and there's no good solution to move forward. I will reserve the right to then just limit the participation, first come, first served, first come, first reserved. And the reason for that is to preserve the quality of the experience for the people that have signed up, and make sure that that people who are registered are getting the experience that they signed up for. And yeah, not like a bait and switch kind of a thing. Like, I thought I signed up for this and now I'm actually signed up for something else. Okay, so I'll let you know if that happens. I will communicate with you what I know as soon as I know it. If it turns out I get, 4 or 5 no's back and I know what we're dealing with, I'm going to communicate that with you as quickly and efficiently as I can. If I don't have an overflow of people, then we don't have to deal with any of these options. But in the interest of time, I'd love to know where your preferences are. I think that's it. Thank you so much. And yeah, I look forward to hearing from you. Take care.